Hi, and welcome to yet another Ask Marlon show. Happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining, and hopefully, we get started with a couple of exciting things today. So, I just want to say thank you for subscribing to the live show and joining. So, please introduce yourself. From where you are. So today's the 11th Ask Marlon show, that where we want to share this the real stories and allow you to ask real questions. Um, the team and myself, we would love to give this time for you to get more knowledgeable about things that you want to know and anything that's real. So I would say, the reason we have this is to give, I guess, real answers to real questions or problems. So please feel free to ask anything you wish on the subjects. And also, we'll have a fantastic guest today. So we're going to have Edward Zia from one of the network influencers in Sydney, who's you most probably seen him on LinkedIn and social media. So I'm looking forward to having him join in shortly. Um, so the topics that you can ask questions on are, in business and technology, especially. So that's where I specialize in, and I'll um, get Dee to put that subjects up in here. So hey, Clem, great to see you here online. Let me know where you connecting from. That's very so that I can give you a shout out and also say hello. So um, yeah. Apart from that, hope you're doing well. I know there's with the current situation in various places. I live in Sydney. We back into a bit of isolation again. Hopefully, everything will be going back to what we need to with all the vaccinations and stuff. So keep your spirits up. And yeah, one of the things I was going to say was that I really love helping individuals and businesses to iron out their issues and get on track with getting things back on deck. Any help I can do, please reach out. Me and my team are here to help you with any organizational matters, including technology services, software development, business accounting and bookkeeping, etc. too. So, um, yeah, Edward's hopefully going to join soon. So I can see him messaging on the live stream. So definitely would love to get your feedback and questions that you have. So please say hello and where you're logging in from, and hope you're having a fantastic day. So. So today, Edward Zia, we're gonna have. He's a international, I would say international coach who's in marketing and business and loves helping people build an influencer network. So and also he's part of a lot of meetup communities and things like that. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions and things that we can ask him to get his knowledge and how he helps people and also how things going. So I'm looking forward to that. So hi Clem, you yeah, from New Zealand. So yeah, thank you for listening in, and hopefully you enjoy the show today. Yeah, and I know New Zealand, I think, went back into a bit of a lockdown this week, so hopefully it's not too hard. Um, and Bernard, hey, how are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well and staying safe, yeah, in at home. Yeah, and yeah, so I think yeah, we're just waiting for Edward, and he's just joining. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring him on and say hello. So, Dee, if you want to bring Edward into the live stream, and yeah, let's get started. Hi, Edward Zia. My brother, how are you doing?
Marlon, I'm so honored to be here with you and your beautiful, amazing fans across the world, Marlon.
Thank you, thank you. I've been super excited to have you again. It's been a little while since we had a chat. It's been a little while that we chit chatted and went and had coffee too. So um, you know, um, so Edward, I think a lot of people know you, but some of them may not be knowing you. So why don't we just get you to introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about what you do, the amazing work and the following you have. Yeah.
Well, firstly, I just want to say, Marlon, I just want to talk about the elephant in the room. Have you noticed that there's two very handsome bald men talking right now, Marlon? Have you noticed that?
Yes.
No, in all seriousness, international master influencer coach. Basically, I help people become influencers, work with my wonderful wife, Lassie, and we run a business network as well. So, all about connecting people together. We run a lot of free events as well for the local and global community. So, yeah, all about connecting people and helping people become famous, in particular on LinkedIn, Meetup, and using live webinar and Zoom technology. So, yeah, and no, just want to say honored to know Marlon for many years. And again, Marlon and I, we live about maybe a 16-minute drive away from each other. We live quite close to each other, don't we? About
Yes,
16 minutes.
definitely. Yeah. And we because of the, I guess, latest things happening, we've not been as connecting as we did before. So we definitely love meeting people in person and also virtually. But yeah, I think the power of networking is about building I don't know, the real connections and really being there for each other to help each other with whatever you need. So yes, I think Edward's here today. Please, yeah, connect wherever you are and introduce yourself. And shoot any questions you have for us. As you know, Edward, he has a couple of online programs and help a lot of I think business people and individuals to set up meetup groups. So Edward's, you're great at helping people grow their network, and I think that is very, I think a powerful thing that you do. And I think it's a great thing because a lot of people need that little jump start. So I'll say you're like the little jumper cables for that engine. And once that's going, you let them float, and they normally handle that pretty well. So um yeah, so Edward, what I'll do is I'll be waiting. uh Yeah, so Clem from New Zealand, I think he's saying hello to us. There are a couple others, Bernard, Devni, thank you, for listening in, and you're amazing. So, yes, I think what Edward, I was going to ask you is, you know, uh, with your how you started. I just wanted to get you to tell us a little bit, like how I know you worked in you were in the military and things like that. Can you give us a bit of a summary of yourself so that everyone's got of a up to date version
No,
of Edward's story?
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm actually a lot older than I look. There's a lot of people hear my story and think that I'm lying. I'm actually a lot older
Not
than I look.
old.
So a lot older than I
Yeah,
look. So
you're
about
young, Edward.
bless your heart, Marlon. If you are
Yeah,
a liar, Marlon, you are a liar, but thank you for the compliment. But
very
seriously,
good.
so I was about 25 years ago. So I was in the Australian Army as a combat engineer. I was very lucky to get seconded to the Australian Federal Police to work in drug enforcement. And yeah, it was amazing. I used to be based in American terms. You would say I was a bit like a DEA agent, a drug enforcement agency agent in American terms. So I was very
Yeah.
lucky to do that when I was starting out. I got injured very badly on an operation, and that was the end of Edward Zia. And I ended up, luckily, ended up going to uni, finishing my degree, and I ended up getting a job for a military supplier, or the military division within a chemical supplier. And it was wonderful. It gave me a real kickstart in marketing and just rolling the clock forward. I ended up becoming homeless as a veteran from my really bad PTSD experiences that caught up with me later in life. And when I rebooted, came back as a coach, as you do, because if you hit rock bottom and you got no money, what's the first thing you do? You become a coach and tell everyone else to hear their lives. Of course you do, right? It's like,
Yes.
your life's a failure. What's the best thing to do? Become a coach and tell everyone how not to be a failure, because I was. And anyway, so came back later in life, and probably talking more recently. 2019, obviously the year before COVID, we went really hard to LinkedIn. And these days, yeah, I spent a lot of my time on LinkedIn, about to hit 100,000 followers, which I'm quite happy with.
Yep,
And we run a lot of
congratulations.
events in Zoom. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell, Marlon, and to all our beautiful fans across the world.
Thank you, Edward. And I think, yeah, that's a, great. I think there's a lot more color and, story in there. But thank you very much for sharing that.
And Bernard says, I'm the oldest. Nah, I reckon I'm call me Pops, is all I can say. I'm an old man. I just cover it up well. That's all. But we love you, Bernard. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and so thank you, everyone. We got a couple of Moses and Justin, all this people logging on from all over the world. So I would say that Edward, I think
I was going to say, let's go jump in. We got Clem on the line from New Zealand. Clem's a handsome, young, strapping lad. That's all I got to say on Clem. A handsome, young, strapping lad. Sorry, continue.
No, that's okay. You're happy to interrupt to give praise to our audience. So yeah, I think we got a few people joining. So Edward, I think one of the things that I was going to say in that story and journey that I think you maybe left out is you're one of the most I would say energetic and bubbly persons that I've seen recently on the social media platforms. Even I think one of my friends, so I would say were you like that from the days of in the military?
A little bit. A little. The answer is yes, but only a little bit. And I think what happens is over time, as you get more confident, win more, you become who of what you really are. And I know we've spoken a lot about this off camera.
Yeah.
Wherever you are in life, especially if you're working for the government like I was, or a corporation or whatever, you're very much forcing whoever you are to fit into a certain box. And I think when you do your own thing and the more you start to succeed, there's a lot of people think, have you always been like this? I suppose the answer is yes, I always have been like this, but I've never had the conditions until now to express who I really am. And I think that's really it. It's, the whole success influencer journey is one of self-discovery as much as it is impacting other people.
Absolutely. Totally agree about in what you say. And I think, to add to that a little bit, I think, also the more we empower and the more we help people, see that light or, whatever, like as a coach, right now you help, businesses and individuals to, I guess, really find and, shine their passion and, shine the stuff that they do. If it's a coach, they'll be doing, connect with more people, things like that. So I think when you perform that and when you help people, I guess, grow, then, you find your light too, like, you know what I mean? I think it's brighter so that you get more energy and more energy basically to, do what you do. So I think this is what I found. So, if I'm feeling not that crash hot, if I jump on a couple of calls with some people like yourself, straight away I'm like, do stuff to go for the day, right? So this is one of the things that I think it's a secret sauce, if you want to say that. Yeah.
And just on that note, exactly. I mean, we all have bad days. We all have days where we don't feel like it. We all have bad days. But I think the more that you win is the more confident you become in what you're doing. And I think as well is the more you recover from losses as well. It makes you more confident. Also too, when you get trolled a lot, when you get trolled and attacked a lot, and I think that's part of it. The more you get attacked is usually the stronger you become, because every time someone attacks you and you ignore them and they go away, you realize how strong you actually are, and you need to embrace that. And that's one of the reasons why I love all the people watching, our fans from across the world, because, I'm so honored to have the best fan base in the world. And that's what and I think that's it as well. It's a love for your fans that also keeps you going as well, Marlon.
Absolutely, yeah. So saying that, I think we got like Bernard, Clem, Moses, a couple of do you have any if you guys have any questions for Edward and myself, or even if it's not in our alley, we'll try and answer them as best as we can. The show is about asking real questions, and then we can give you some real honest answers, and hopefully there are some direction or solutions of what you're looking for too. So yeah, so while we're waiting for that, let me think about a couple of things that I had jotted down to ask you, Edward. So so you asked the question about the energy,
Yeah.
definitely, and you're like unlimited battery, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That again, you are a liar. You're lying to me again, but thank you. No, no, but seriously, if only that was true. I wish it was more true, but no, thank you. Thank you. It is a good feeling. But I suppose
it is.
on that note,
Yeah.
though, where the energy comes from, though, and you've got a lot of energy too, of course. I think the energy comes from loving my fans and loving what I do. And I think we know we've had this camera before. There's influencers out there that don't love their fans, and the influencers that do love their fans. And it's that love that keeps me interested, keeps me energized, keeps me on the edge of my seat and always delivering.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I think there are a couple of questions that we had received
Ooh.
before too. So maybe Devni, who's my social media guru, who's in the back end, running the show
Oh,
here.
cool.
You can shoot some things in there, and I think a couple of things are coming through. So yeah.
Oof, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
do you
what is the impact on all the meetup programs you lead with the extended lockdowns,
oh,
etc.? So
well, I can actually answer that question. And the answer is we're winning, but I was a little bit nervous about this one. So in short,
mm,
what we've done is that whenever we can't do a face-to-face meetup, we just do a Zoom instead. Okay, we use Zoom as the backup, you would say. So I do a mixture. I do a mixture of Zooms every week, plus
yeah.
I do face-to-face events across Australia. Now, we've had to run quite a few events in Australia over Zoom instead of a face-to-face meetup, and I was very nervous. I was skeptical. A few of our meetup leaders were rightfully skeptical, but you know what I found that's interesting is that
Mm,
is running a Zoom as good as a face-to-face event? Yes. The answer is
yes,
yes. It's
definitely.
different.
Mm,
It's different. There are pros and cons, but I would say running a Zoom is as good as a face-to-face event. There's just pros and cons to it. It's a different beast sort of thing. So we've actually found that as long as you make the Zoom entertaining and as
mm,
inclusive as possible, we've been fine. So we've run Zoom replacements for our Canberra meetups, our Brisbane meetups, our Sydney meetups, basically all our meetups except Perth. And they've been absolutely fine because I think what it is that the world is now ready to work online.
yeah.
People are used to it. And
Mm,
people don't blame you because it's not like people saying, how dare you not run a face-to-face event? People don't blame you. They know you're doing your best within the systems available. So yeah, I found Zoom has been really, really good. But of course, as well, the moment we
mm.
can legally do face-to-face meetups, we're going to be doing face-to-face meetups.
Absolutely. I'll be there. And I think
Hey.
I'm a bit guilty for not joining you a couple of the latest webinars because, it's normally the evening time. So
Yeah.
need to do a couple of more of them. And I think one of the other things I was going to say is that some of the, because I'm a technology guy,
Yeah.
some of the technology platforms are actually, having different ways also to make that more entertaining. You know what I mean? So I was
Mm.
seeing some of the sharing, I don't know, like trivia things and things like that.
The cat
Yeah. So
filter.
I got a couple of ideas for you anyway. So we'll talk about that offline to
Yeah.
make it a bit more, yeah. Let's set tomorrow or something. I'll ping you on that. So there are a couple of other feedback coming through here. So a yeah. I'll just bring some of them up here. So.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this one here. Let's go. So Moses said, "What do you think of waiting for a job for one whole year after trying so hard to get one?
Yeah.
Is not definitely yeah? You wanna go?
Yeah. I'll give you my take on that one. And this is from a guy that job hunted for a while before he took off in his business. Now,
Mm,
when you're, I suppose, just without knowing your background and trying to read into it,
mm,
let's say you don't have a job and you're desperate for a job. Right? I understand that.
yeah.
Sometimes it's better off having no job than the wrong job. I do sit a lot into that camp. And in hindsight, some years back before I started my business, I was, this is when I was coming out of being a homeless veteran. I actually was still homeless. I actually turned down a few jobs while I was still homeless. Now, a lot of people think, what? You turn down jobs while you're still homeless? Because I thought, yeah, at the end of the day, I'd much rather be homeless and in the wrong job, because the wrong job will continue the problem. So look, there's a balancing act. Eventually, mortgages have to be paid and you need to get food and petrol and all that. But ultimately, I'm all for saying no to the right job and waiting for the right one. But there's obviously a balance. So what do you think on that one, Marlon?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one, definitely, and each one's slightly different. But I would say that waiting for a job, waiting for a whole year, in a certain, I guess, in a certain environment like right now, so the waiting part is like waiting for the right job, but doing something else is the way that I would handle it. You know what I mean? So, for example, I am not going to, change my hunt for what I really want or what I really, love doing, but definitely, will do something, keep myself busy. You know what I mean? So I've never not had a piece of work to do, um, so and that only reason I didn't most probably have some work was when I didn't have permit to work, so apart from that, has been, right through working like that. So and I think it also comes back to, I think, Edward, when we, pre-pandemic or in just before it started, we talked about doubling up and, or tripling down and doing
Yeah.
some stuff. So, when you triple down your search or hunt, or triple down your connecting with, recruiters and stuff like that, it sort of helps, the process. So definitely my thing to you, Moses, is not to give up, just to keep hunting, keep asking, seeking, and that's the only way you're going to get. And, the more you are encouraged, the more you spend with energetic people, the faster it will happen, So, yeah. And thank you very much, Moses, for your feedback, and, love you too. So,
If I could add to that, if I could just add to, I love what you just said, Marlon, and I love how you said, don't wait, do something else. And one thing, because about a third of our community members are employees, which is awesome, right? And what I say to employees is, let's say you're in between jobs, you're in a job that sucks, you're waiting for your dream job to come in, whatever it is. One thing I say to you is get into LinkedIn, because what happens is that, be it you're starting your own business or you're a job seeker, the more you post on LinkedIn is the more you're going to be seen by potential companies, by potential recruiters, by people going to hire you. And what I find is that speeds everything up. So the more you post and the more you use LinkedIn, the more that the opportunities come to you. And also too, let's say you do get that dream job and the dream job's not what you expected, or after a year or two you're done, you want to be set up to go the next level. What do you think on that one, Marlon?
yeah, I totally agree. I think, I think you said it absolutely. I couldn't say it any better than that, And I think, Clem here says that, energy is like a flywheel effect. So that is definitely, true. I think when you build that momentum, it just keeps spinning. So it's about then, if you know what the flywheel is, obviously, it just, builds. Is it kinetic energy? Yeah, it just builds energy within the system, so that, all you have to do is just give it a little push, and then it has that momentum. So I think being on social media, connecting with people, like, for example, we can say that, let's say you're right now, in full lockdown like we are in, and, we cannot go and meet people, and we have, everything is different. Make a list, say I'm going to make 10 calls, and the people that I have not made, calls to, or the people that, boost me up when I talk to them, and I'm telling you, I don't know, 9 times out of 10 people will help you and get through that. So, there are a couple other questions coming through. So thank you very much, Moses. Hopefully we slayed that question. And Clem, thank you very much for your feedback on that too.
Love Clem.
So there's another one here. I think the user's not shown here.
Oh,
These are the
That's my
same
favorite question.
angle. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. On my end, it just says LinkedIn user. So I have
Yes.
no idea
Okay.
who you are, but whoever
Yeah.
you are, male, female, whatever, great question. Now, I know this topic very, very well because there is no one, I don't want to put this challenge out there, Marlon, except
Yeah.
maybe you, but there is no one who has been defeated more in life than I have. I have, in fact, I'm going to say it right now. No one has been knocked down more in life than I have. What do you think of that, Marlon? Do you win that one or do you think I win that one?
Definitely, I have not had, I had much more come,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
cushion, I guess, journey. So you definitely have had some, and if you, especially, if you suffered from, PTSD and things like that, is basically you have to. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it has
Yeah.
to really overcome that and then hold that pattern. So I
Yeah.
would say, yeah. What are your if you want to go back and give the whoever that
Yeah.
person
I,
is a bit of answer is that what do you do? Like there are a couple of steps do you normally follow to
the, the,
jump
the
back out of it?
the first thing that I do is when you get knocked down, the first thing I do is deal with the actual problem. Like, is it a temporary knockdown? Are you going to get knocked down again? Is there an actual problem to resolve? So, firstly, is whenever I take a knockdown, I like to think, will this knockdown happen again? Is this knockdown normal? Is this knockdown coming back, or have I done something wrong? So the first thing is a dose of reality. What do I need to check and change to deal with the knockdown? The answer is nothing. Nothing. That maybe these knockdowns are normal. I'm going to have another knockdown like it. So then
Mm,
that brings me over to me. And this is when you got to make a decision. Is we all get knockdowns. And of course, I was being quite satirical. I'm sure there's many people listening to the Zoom who've had more knockdowns than me. And in fact, Marlon, I reckon you've had more knockdowns than me in life, right? I was
mm.
being quite funny back there. But in all
Okay.
seriousness, when you get knocked down and you've dealt with whatever problem, assuming there is
Mm,
one, you got to go forward. You got to deal with it. You got to carry on. And that's when decision making becomes very important. Now, I get at least a phone call every day from one of our
mm.
community members that suffers a knockdown and they're just flat and they're demotivated. And I respect that.
Yeah.
And this is where you have to make a decision. Follow, and I'm going to be very clear here. Losers are not people who don't have knockdowns. They just can't get back up. And I think Sylvester Stallone says this one well. A
Mm,
winner is not someone who necessarily wins a given battle. A winner is someone who keeps getting up after being knocked down. And that's something I couldn't agree with more. And I think one of the reasons, like a lot of people consider me a winner, and I
mm.
most certainly consider myself a winner. And that's not because I'm amazingly successful and I'm always winning. It's actually not the case. But whenever I get knocked down, I like to think you'll like this one, Marlon. I'm a little bit like the Terminator. If if I get if Kyle Reese hits me with the shotgun and I get knocked over, I just get back up and start chasing Sarah Connor. So I'm a master of getting back up after I get knocked over. And what do you think of that one? Do you like my Terminator, Kyle Reese, Sarah Connor analogy, Marlon?
Yeah, I was really love that. I'm gonna most probably steal that from you every now and then. Yes, I think I have a bit of I guess a deeper bit of a philosophical way of thinking about that is I don't think there's even a thing called knockdown. So basically I go, it's just occurrence. So I was expecting a certain result and I got a different one. Now you could take it as knockdown, positive, negative, whatever we want. That's just the identification on how we analyze and accept it. You know what I mean? So if you went for a, I don't know, new job quote, say we applied for something, there's 4 people applying for the same proposal and we didn't get it. I'm like, wow, that person has outsmarted me, or they did something really good. You know what I mean? Because they got it. So I'm like,
They're better
what did
looking than
you
me.
do? Yeah.
They're better
Yeah.
looking. Their their
So
skin's the
that
right
way,
color, whatever it is. Yeah.
absolutely. So, you need to be more aware. You need to, so I think it's about, as you said, I feel that knockdown, winning or losing is about consistency. You know what I mean? It's like consistently getting through, consistently getting the
Yeah.
jobs,
Mm,
consistently
that's it.
selling. So whatever we do, if we consistently do that, like if you take 10 tries and you get through 8 times, you're definitely a winner. And if you try 10 times, and even if you get only 4 times, it doesn't matter. You still won 4 times. So I think it's about, consistently, getting through what you have to do, and that I think helps you, maintain a status quo or maintain whatever it is. So if it's bills we need to pay, you have to pay the bills, obviously. So we have to win, consistently to do that, And if you keep trying, and if you do 100 things and you win 80% of the time, that's 80 things, then getting by. And if you increase, so what we talked about with Edward and myself, what we did was we said, if you're doing 100, we said we are going to do 300. So,
Yeah.
so Edward's, I think more than you did, two times and a half, I think your growth was during the pandemic period in the BizTech global community. In our company, we've grown 150%, you know what I mean? So
Wow.
so this is consistency. This is actually, pushing the boundaries and, putting the pressure back on ourselves to actually get through. So I think we've slayed that one too. So there are a couple of people saying hello. So there's I think Sandra
Hello.
from Germany. Great to have you here. And Sandra, can you, if you have any questions, please shoot them through. Let me
And
see
we love
who else is
Germany.
here.
We love Germany and we love Germans. Welcome. In fact, on that note, my first company, Sandra, like this, was 𝐶𝐴𝐭, which is a German company based in Dusseldorf. So there you go. So hence I love Germany. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a great question there, Marlon.
So Sandamini's got, how do you help companies market and be an influencer in their domain? So this is your expertise, so I think it's just, you don't have to give a whole secret sauce away because
I'm going
I'm
to tell
joking.
Sandamine everything, no hold back. I'll just run on that. Now, so in short, so our influencer strategies is based heavily on personal branding, meaning that it's not so much us helping companies per se become famous. We're about helping the individuals through their personal brands becoming famous. And that in turn helps their companies become good. Now, the easiest example, like in Yankorn, is Richard Branson. If you ever want to say, Ed, I want to be persuaded on personal branding, look no further than Richard Branson. Now, I know not everyone likes Richard Branson. I'm very well aware of that. Elon Musk is another example as well, right?
Mhm.
So again, I know not everyone likes Richard Branson. I respect that. But you'll find that personal branding is a wonderful influencer strategy. And the simple matter of fact is that people relate better to humans than I do machinery or equipment, just the way that we're geared, right? And the idea is, as you become personally famous and become an influencer in your own right, people naturally buy your product. So be it you're a solicitor, you're working for Microsoft, you're working for Intel, you're working for AMD, you're working for one of the airlines, or whatever the case is that through you becoming famous and being personally trusted, that gives you the credibility to sell whatever products or services you have. So I would say it's personality inwards. Very Elon Musk, very Richard Branson, very much in that sort of universe. And a lot of fashion brands do that too. If you look at, was it, Carla Zampatti, for example, right? A lot of fashion brands are personality driven. So yeah,
Yeah.
personal branding and personality. What do you think, Marlon?
Yeah, I think it's great. So yeah, I think the secret there is really elevating the person or the person behind the business, or if it's multiple people, that one person needs to lead it, or so I think, Edward, you really spend the time to uh, bring the real person out in the open, I reckon. If you want to put it very simply, you're great at that, and you just cut the BS and go, just be you. Just put a bit more
And,
color.
and on
you
that
know
note,
yeah.
that's why you're so successful, Marlon. So I know we're focusing on me, but forget about me, focusing on you, Marlon. That's why I say you're so successful, because yeah, I mean, you lead from the front, you are who you are, you're integrity driven. And what I love about you, Marlon, is what you see is what people get. You are one of the most authentic influencers I ever know, Marlon.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think that's the way to go. And I think, Edward, you're the same. So, if you see Edward, we'll be eating ice cream, jumping on some chair or something in Darling Harbour, or doing dips in front of the Harbour
Yeah,
Bridge.
push-ups, push-ups.
Yeah.
I've been working out. I've been doing 100 push-ups a day in this lockdown. So there you go. Trying to get me
Yeah,
going.
so I think, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, 100 push-ups, So Yes, I think there are a couple of ones. I think we talked about the pandemic, so that one I can answer that. So I think, what's the percentage of growth that you had during the this time? I can't remember. You told me about
Let me give
200%.
roughly, I'm being conservative here. We've
Mm,
same year on year, we've doubled
mm,
our client base.
yeah,
So our client base, probably triple. I'm just going to say double because I don't want to.
yeah,
I'm much rather be conservative. But let's say this: since last year, we've doubled our client base.
mm,
So the fan base has probably quadrupled. Our client base has doubled. And what's also interesting as well is we're getting clients so much more easily because we were we were very lucky because for different reasons, obviously we didn't know about the pandemic at the time, but in
mm,
2019, we started shifting our business heavily online. So
yeah,
when the original pandemic global lockdowns hit, we didn't have to do too much to go on.
mm,
We were already mostly there, just a few things we had to sort of tweak and change on. Whereas we're in day, I think, 63 of our lockdown. And the thing is, for us, it's been fine because we've already got all the we're already an online company. So
yeah.
if anything, you could actually argue I've got more time to actually produce content, so I'm spending less time traveling and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely, and I think I'll add a little bit to that, and my, I guess, summation of being around and witnessing your growth with Lassie and the team is that,
Mm.
I think your the need for your services became more even evident, and you spend more time being there for people, what I mean. So as you mentioned before, you're one of the most authentic, and what you see is what you get, human being. So
Yeah.
so people needed that, and I think the way that you service that is that it's not like you have to go and sign for like $10 million. It's a service based on what you need, and if you need more, you can get more, or if you need the basic, and then you're always available to answer questions, and you're always checking on in people. So I think that's definitely very powerful, and I think also you're expanding the reach, so you have more people now to help. So it's not only you, because you'll eventually run out of time to service everyone in that way. But yeah, I think I love what you do, man.
Oh,
So
no.
that's a great question, and hopefully we answered that one. What is Moses?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great comment.
Yeah. Yeah. So less travel is more time to be online, and give more time to people too. Um, yeah, definitely send you the link, Clem.
Totally.
uh,
Totally. Yeah, it's interesting. One thing, oh, we got a bit of fat.
Dimashi.
Great one from Damashi. Hey, Edward, what do you love about what you do? Well, that's a great one. And you know what it is, Damashi, in all honesty? I love helping people win. When I help someone succeed, it makes me feel good. And I love it. And I love the fame that it brings. When I say fame, I don't mean that in terms of a look at me, my ego sense, but I mean
Mm.
genuine fame in terms of people love what you do because of how you've helped them in life. So that's what I really love. What do you think of that one, Marlon?
I definitely. Yeah, I think I think I just love what I do. Like, doesn't matter what it is, you know what I mean? So that's like a bit of a silly answer, but um,
Good
the
answer.
things that you managed to, I guess, get good at helping, doing, so in my case, it's like mentoring people, being there for people, being, I guess, lead in the sales, for the business. Working with the strategy, so anything to do with growth in our own business and others is my passion. So I love doing that. So Edward, in your case, is that you love helping people win big, so
Hmm.
you, when you see that, it makes you very happy, so
Hmm.
no amount of money or ice cream or or good food
Okay.
can make it. They may
Agreed.
come close to it, but you can't make it, make the
Eh,
same feeling. Yeah.
on a funny note, It's funny you bring up ice cream. I was in the city the other day working, and I had a burrito, right? I had a burrito, and it was about it was freezing, right? It was freezing. It's about like 7 degrees or something. I felt like about 7 degrees. And
Yeah.
it's like, I wanted an ice cream, but it was absolutely freezing, right? But I couldn't do it. I had to say no to the ice cream. You psychologically want something, but your body just says, no, leave me alone. Oh my God, we got Brian Cahill in the live. I'm a huge Brian Cahill man. Do you
I
love
know.
Brian Cahill as much as I do, Marlon?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Hey,
love Brian
Brian, hope you're
Cahill.
doing well, man.
Great guy.
Thanks for stopping in and listening in.
DiMarchi.
Yeah,
Love you,
and
DiMarchi.
yeah, with the ice cream thing, I was gonna say, so I think last time we had the your marketing conference, I think there were a
Yes.
couple of ladies we were walking down with to get to the
Messina
here Darling
Gelati
Harbour.
in Darling Square. That's it.
Yes, and I'm like, let's eat some ice cream. They're like, it's freezing. I'm like, well, I wish Edward was here because you had gone home that you had to
Oh, yeah.
go, for something, and they would need ice cream, so I couldn't eat my ice cream because you were not there. So
Yeah.
it
So,
was funny.
yeah, but if it's 7 degrees, though, I'm not gonna do it. That's a bit too even if it's too hard. But I suppose talking about ice cream, obviously ice cream's a metaphor. I think it's a matter of, you gotta celebrate your achievements. And, one
Absolutely.
biggest thing that I've learned is I love your thoughts on this one, Marlon, and thank you again to our fans around the world watching, is I used to be so hard on myself. I used to have the worst internal dialogue. I always used to be the harshest critic to myself. And I've learned over the years that's the worst strategy. You need to celebrate your achievements. And that's one of the reasons why I like eating ice cream. I eat ice cream not just because I like ice cream, which I do, but it's also about celebrating your achievements and keeping that motivation going. What do you think of that topic, Marlon?
Oh, let me tell you what I think about that. So I think I really love that question or the thought. I feel that when you don't celebrate and when you like if you're hard on yourself, it's like your the metaphor, the analogy I would say is like, let's take we have big dam here, the Warragamba Dam or whatever, right? So you get a big dam wall, and it is basically like collecting your flow and just locking it in, So what happens is then it doesn't let. So if you want something and you go, oh my God, this is only small, and you stop there, it basically pauses your energy flow, So I think when you get through that to get to the next one, you need to go, wow, that's really good. Like it's like if you're playing cricket, it's like hitting a sixer, You need to celebrate. You need to put your bat up and go, hey, I got that, and everyone's cheering, and then you go to the next ball. You don't spend the whole day, waiting around because you hit a sixer. You just go start hitting the second one. You know what I mean? So, so I think it's important. Now, if you didn't enjoy that sixer and you just went and did your thing, and then you most probably not going to want to hit it again, you know what I mean? So the energy and the momentum that you build on that is basically you need to celebrate, as you said, so I think I love the way you always celebrate the people, Edward. So when you have especially a meetup, even if it's like we have some big ones, some little ones, we'll have some drinks, we'll have something to eat, nibble, we'll have a chit chat, we take some pictures. So, and also it's always, you're celebrating the other people, you know what I mean? And I think that's, we both got that in common. I think a lot of people go, why do you do this? Like sometimes, they'll ask the question, right? So I get that a lot, and I go, because I just love it. I just want to be there, and that's part of our success is being there and doing that. We're not measuring anything, going, okay, this is going to take us 2 hours. We're here spending maybe 2 hours of our day collectively, or more than that, preparing all that stuff, and we just chatting and giving you, and asking you to ask us questions. So that is just part of what we do. So I think it's fantastic if you can keep the momentum and really, especially enjoy what you do and celebrate it.
Yeah. And just on that note, just adding, love what you said, Marlon, just adding to it. And Lassie and I were having this humorous reflection the other day, and I know that you'd appreciate this, Marlon, and to our fans watching, you love this one too.
Yeah.
Lassie and I were reflecting on all the criticism we got over the years. And one thing that we got criticized heavily on was our free meetups. So as you know, I love running a lot of free meetups. we run at least 2 free events a week. Monday webinar, Zoom Plus. Sometimes I run 4 free events a week, right? Run a lot of free events.
I know, you're crazy.
I know, it's big. Now, Lassie and I won't just say criticized, we were condemned, and I say condemned by some very malicious characters for saying, oh, you're giving away too much for free, you shouldn't be doing it, blah, 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 blah. And what was interesting is no one's criticizing us now because it helped us take off and become massively successful. And going back to what you're saying, Marlon, and you've said this to me before as well, so I want to credit you with this. You know, what you give is what you get back. And you've said that to me before. The more you give is the more you get back. And the reason why you're so successful, Marlon, is you spend all your time giving. That's why you're receiving so much. What are your thoughts on that one, Marlon?
Yep, that's absolutely. I believe that totally, and I'm witness to that all the time. So, but it takes some understanding of certain things. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's more experience and wisdom and time. Sometimes you when you starting that journey, you don't fully get that. But if you go back and look at your teachers, your parents, your mentors, your scout leaders, or whatever it is, you've been around, you see that they gave you more than what you gave them. Yeah. And this is evidence of how the whole how all of us operate. And so if you're doing work and if you're doing community, whatever it is, it's that whole process still exists. So I think what you need to understand is you still need to do activities, like you need to most probably do a proposal and a quote and things like that, but it is not about, like, I think for me that ratio is 1 to 10. Like I would want to give 10 before I get 1, and or 10 times, I think what's his name, Grant Cardone call it 10x, so he wants to 10x your business, and he really works hard for it, so Tony Robbins have similar things, so when you massively giving abundant of value to people, then definitely all the things that you're working on becomes almost friction free and happens. And that is what in business it's hard to explain that in intangibly or tangibly, but definitely Edward, we witnessed that. So yeah,
I can give you the PR answer to it. So I had I spoke to one of my very, very good friends and clients actually, who she's one of Sydney's top PR people. And I actually asked her in PR terms what it means. And she actually gave me a very realistic answer. Are you ready, Marlon?
Yes. You mean?
She just simply said, is the more you do for other people, is the more people that are going to like you and the more popular you're going to get. Pure and simple. So the more you give is the more goodwill you're going to build, the more popular you're going to get. And that means several things. If people need what you're selling, they're going to consider you, right? They may not hire you, but they'll definitely consider you. And if they come across someone that needs what you're selling, you're going to be the first person they refer to you. So there's that tangible side of being a good giving community citizen as well.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of things, Edward, on this subject. Just quickly touch. So I think Moses has put some comments here without putting it all in detail. So I think, so I think the answer on these ones is, so the question is, can we keep giving, and without earning money and stuff like that? So it's not literally like, it's not like giving money away, like, so I think what we're talking about is that, if you're in a situation like you don't have a particular, I guess, opportunity or income, then it is definitely difficult. So it's not like we're saying, just don't do anything and you give everything away. We're saying, give massive value, give ultimate, everything that you have. And in that, like, let's say if you're a coach, you may have 2 people that may not be able to pay you, but then you may have 10 people you can. So, you can give away one service, or you can give more value than, you're taking. So, right now in the pandemic, I know so many people who are doing, pro bono work in the area that they are, because they actually want people to succeed, Now, they're not saying, okay, here, I'm doing the work and here's the invoice, pay me 100 days later. They're saying, okay, I'm going to help you here now anyway. So as you said, Edward, what happens there is that they remember that, people
Yeah.
remember kindness, and they actually,
Oh,
they're not obliged to pay back, but they definitely will try, and if it's a good human being, definitely you'll get that in multiples, not even one.
yeah. I got an interesting example, and I remember this. So again, there is commercial reality, and I couldn't agree with what you're saying more, Moses. There
Yeah.
is there is reality, right? You got to be able to give in a commercially minded manner. So, for example, the way that I give quite often is I run free events. Now, the beauty of running free events is that, let's say I run a free meetup and
Mm,
50 people come. I'll get usually 2 clients out of that. I'll actually make a lot of money out of that, because what will happen is that out of those 50 people, 1 or 2 people in that crowd will go, "I like this guy, I'm gonna hire him." So the idea is you got to give in a commercially minded manner. And a very simple yet funny example was, when I was a homeless veteran for about 10 months, give or take, right? Up to a year if you want to count some of the other experiences I had. But let's say I was a homeless veteran for a year for argument's sake, right? What actually would happen to me is I never missed many meals, and I'll explain to you why. Where I was living at the time, a lot of it was in DY Beach in Sydney. Is what would happen was is that I had quite a bit of time on my hands, even though I was a homeless guy, right? So I often would talk to people, and I actually became a little bit spiritual there. I became a bit of a monk, you would say. Like, I was a little bit like a traveling monk. And apparently there
okay.
was this, might have been you, someone actually said there was a term for it. What would happen was I would just listen to people's problems. I've always been a Christian. So I ended up just ministering and just talking to people and listening to people's problems and helping them solve their problems. And what actually happened was, people would actually, sometimes people would give me money. They would, buy me food and that sort of thing. And someone actually mentioned there were actually monks of certain eras that basically would live off donations. And they joked that I was basically that. I was like the monk living off donations, because
Yeah.
even though I had no money, I had time, I had my ability to listen, I had the right heart. So there's always something you can give, right? So, for example, if you've got no money, I'm not encouraging you to give money away. If you've got a lot of money, you might give money away to a favorite charity. In our case, we've got the knowledge and the expertise. So we run free events giving that knowledge away. And what it does is, A, you're helping the community, but B, as my PR friend so eloquently explained to me, it also makes you very famous, because, again, if you get 50 people in front of you and you're being so generous, at least one person's going to scratch a head in their audience saying, "I'm going to hire this person. This is the person for me."
Yeah.
And the other 49 people, if they don't hire you, they're going to walk off saying good things about you. They're going to like you. And I think that's very important. What
Yeah.
do you think,
And I
Marlon?
think,
Yeah,
yeah, I think, thank you, Moses. I think that's because it's a real questions that you ask. I think is
yeah, good
really
question.
powerful, and thanks for hopefully we clear that out. And yeah, I think let's get in touch, and if you need support, we'll yeah, let's see how we can get you what you need. And that's the whole spirit of this community and network we have. So you got a question? Yep. Edward, you
Yeah.
go.
Thank you. The wonderful Janali Shakila. Great having you as Janali. Cool name, by the way. It sounds like a movie star. I like it. Janali Shakila. Cool name, right? Hello. What is your advice for someone who is starting up a new program or venture? What should they start with on the social media platforms? Great. So the best thing to do, and look, I am on Team LinkedIn. So whenever Ed gives advice, he's always going to tell you how wonderful LinkedIn is. But in all fairness, just being objective for the moment, which is hard for me, you got to think about which social media platforms suit your business. And let's just say, for argument's sake, it's LinkedIn, just so I can give you a coherent answer, right? Let's say it's
Yep.
LinkedIn for argument's sake. First thing that I would do is I would start sharing content about your venture, but giving tips and inspiration. So one of the reasons why I'm so popular on LinkedIn, and so is Marlon, is because we're masters of, we share content about what we do, which I encourage you to do, but we're also share general content. So, for example, this hashtag Ask Marlon show is just 2 handsome bald men giving you ideas to improve your life and your business and become influencers. And we're doing this for free. So my advice to you, Janali, and any of our beautiful fans that are watching right now, and I do thank you again, is, and just talking LinkedIn and keep my answer tight,
Yeah.
start on LinkedIn by sharing ideas, share thoughts, share insights, and also talk about what you do. And I find that works really well, because if you just talk about what you do all day, you're going to bore people.
Mm.
But if you talk about what you do plus give great value, you're going to bring people into your ecosystem. What do you think, Marlon?
You absolutely hit that on the nail on the head. So yeah, just giving value, entertaining, being yourself, and hopefully you're goofy or crazy, a little bit crazy like
Goofy.
me and Edward.
Goofy. I'm
Yeah,
goofy.
and
I'm goofy.
and if you can make people laugh, educate them, give them massive value, to use whatever in their business or day to day, and keep them motivated and happy. That is the perfect mix of beautiful content, and then they want to hear or see more. You know what I mean? So the whole idea there would be, so let's say that if you're starting a new, let's say you want to be a coach, you want to be a business coach, you're starting to do that, and you've done some business work before, and then you have a bit of a strategy, so you'll talk to someone like Edward who will help you work out a bit of a marketing strategy, or a business idea strategy, how to bring it forward, and that is based on helping heaps of other people, or that's based on experiencing other people's yeah. So then you'll work out a plan, so you create a bit of a, I guess, content based on that, and obviously there's really smart ways to do that. And this is about understanding the psychology of, all of us, how we consume content, how we motivated. So we have to spend a bit of time doing that. So if you're a business, I guess structural expert, then you may not have all that, knowledge, and that's why it's important to maybe hire someone like Edward to give you that feedback, and then keep working on it. And if you want to do it one off, it'll be people who do that, and some people will continually do that. So for example, in BizTech Global, we help companies with their IT services. We help them with their sometimes the strategy, to do things. If they have some product or application, we'll help them build it up and promote it. We can also deliver some of the marketing, I guess, work. So the idea there to help businesses to grow. So and Edward, as he said before, he helps people win. So we do things in the way that help the ecosystem go forward. So you have to start somewhere, and first of all is in the social media. LinkedIn is great for business to business. If you want to be, I guess, influencer in in millennials and teenagers, maybe TikTok or things like that. So you'll see the trends and patterns. So study that, and starting somewhere is the way to go, and starting now today is definitely is the way to go. So I think we've yeah. So Moses, thank you very much. I think he gave us a lot of questions and answers. Generally, hopefully that gave you the answer in a venture, and doing something. So yeah, get in touch with people. Also a lot of people would love to I don't know, have a chat. They'll help you with um, yeah. This one is what I think we answered that one already. So basically,
Oh,
if you
what's it called?
yeah, if you connecting with someone who's a coach or a thing, they'll let you have a discovery call, and discuss things. And so sometimes that's also another way to I don't know, ask some questions and get some answers. And if you think that the person is the one to work with, you work with. Otherwise, there's also way to get more knowledge. What are you putting him in front of a camera, Edward?
Oh,
With a
no,
glass?
I was just testing the depth of my camera. So I've got so this is my bowl full of M&Ms, which you'll notice
Okay.
that is empty because I ate
I was
them
gonna
all.
say, what's in the bowl?
Yeah, and I was just testing. I thought while Marlon's talking, I just want to tip. So long story short, I've got a big thank you to Lassie on my birthday, which was June the 23rd.
Yeah.
Lassie bought me this brand new computer. I'm using a Microsoft Surface Book, and the webcam. I'm actually using my laptop, and the webcam's so damn good. I was just using my bowl to check the field of vision. It's really good. Anyway, there you go. But this bowl, when we started, was full of M&Ms,
Mm.
and as you shall observe, the bowl is now empty. And where do you think those M&Ms went, Marlon? It's great.
The little ones or yourself? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I was
Um,
checking. I was using my bowl. I just want to see if anyone noticed. I guess the answer was yes, Ed. We noticed. So there you go.
I noticed it definitely. So I think Moses got another question. So I
Oh,
think
good question.
Moses, how to bring people to our webinars. And what best strategy? I would say that you should join Edward's, webinars and see how he runs them, and if you want to have a couple of sessions with him, or I'm sure Edward will be happy to help you to explain that to you.
Mate,
Definitely,
be
there's a lot
honored.
of things a lot of help you can get. So I encourage you to reach out and have a discussion. So, Edward, I was going to ask you, what's your favorite book, man?
Ooh, my favorite book is written by Scott Adams, who's the creator of Dilbert.
Yeah.
And as you know, it's Win Bigly, Persuasion in a World Where Facts Don't Matter. It was and again, I'm sure we're gonna lose half our viewers when I say this, but it's about the book of, can I say the T word? The TR,
Yes.
can I say can I say the forbidden word?
Yeah, okay, say it.
The Trump, it's how Trump won an unwinnable election. Now, I just want to say this, right?
Oh,
Whether
I
you
need
love
to,
or
I need to
hate,
read the book.
yeah, whether you love or hate Trump,
Mm,
I respect that completely. My mom hates Trump. Whatever, love or hate Trump, it's not about that.
yeah.
But whether you love or hate Trump, Trump won an unwinnable election. He won an election against the Clinton dynasty, right?
I don't. Yeah.
And for Trump to win that, there is a level of genius there, right? I love
Mm,
or hate him, got it.
yeah.
Call him whatever you want. There is a level of genius there, and this book unpacks that persuasion genius, and I learned so much from that because it showed, because like Hillary Clinton, and I used to love Hillary Clinton, by the way. My
Mm,
mom used to love Hillary Clinton, right? The Clintons of that era were the political dynasty, right?
yeah.
And to take down a Clinton, which Trump did, you got to be a genius, right? Yeah, only a genius could take, and he did it. And this book unpacks that genius, and it unpacks the persuasion lessons of how Trump did. And just so you know as well, Trump right now is actually running a shadow government in America. Fox News said this, and he's actually aiming to win the next elections in 2024. So Trump hasn't gone anywhere. And it's that persuasion genius that's unpacked in this book that I
Mm.
learned so much from. Again, love or hate Trump, it's a must read because, again,
So this is, yeah,
yeah,
this is to our. I guess we need to add to this discussion because I was last week. I had a couple of, I guess, moments thinking about this exactly because I saw few of those clips that you mentioned in. I watched Bloomberg and a couple of the financial news and stuff like that on Fox. So definitely, it's a subject, and I think, yeah, let's take that book on this post, so that people. I
yeah,
think definitely it's a, um, in that expertise that you have, and studying that, understanding that. I've been actually wanting to know because it's I can't remember the lady who ran the strategy, his campaign manager, right? She's
I
on
can't.
who drove the whole program there. So she made him win that thing. So yeah, definitely,
And
it's a very
it,
thought provoking book. I'm sure.
yeah,
Um,
and in terms of persuasion, I've learned so much from Donald Trump
mm,
because, again, he didn't just take down the Clinton dynasty. He's working, and it's not just my opinion. A lot of people who hate Trump are terrified right now because Trump's aiming to win the next election, and I'm going to say it now. I believe that he will because of his persuasion genius. Again, love or hate him, I'm just telling you what's
yeah.
going on.
Mm.
And so that's a great book for me. And bring it back to you, Marlon. What I find so persuasive and powerful about you is it's your genuineness and authenticity, Marlon, that makes you so persuasive.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I think both of, and you too. I think your genuineness and your, I think, willingness to um I think so one of the things I recently, like last week or week before, I said to someone who I was helping, was that I said, so I did some things for them and they're like, oh, so appreciate you. I said, no, it's not like I'm not accepting your, you know, gratitude, because I think, for me to help you, you had to allow me to do that. So thank you for allowing me to help you, because I think the biggest, blocker for most people uh, is to, they're not open to receive that,
Mm.
So you go, okay, Ed, are you okay? Can I help you with anything? They'll be like, no, no, we're fine. You know,
Yeah.
be good, be good, all good. I'm like, no, you're not good. I can see
Yeah.
that. Why don't you just let me talk to me? I can direct you. I can give you something. I can give you some books. So I think I love when people allow me to help them, because that is the ultimate, I don't know, like peace that I have. So I think, I encourage everyone to really, and this is at the end of our call. So we must probably record, snippet this and put it out there. So I think you need to help people to help you,
Mm.
and that's the only way you're gonna, really get this. At this point in time, we all need help, because everything has changed. So when things
Yeah.
change,
It's true.
it's not usual. So the unusual is hard, and to get through unusual, you need some people's hands sometimes to hold and walk. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of people like Ed and myself out here. There's heaps of people in that network who are beautiful, beautiful humans that'll be there all the time.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Julie Cini. Oh my God. Julie Cini. There is no one that loves Julie Cini more than me. Do you love Julie Cini, Marlon? Because I love Julie Cini.
absolutely, yeah. So I've not spoken to her for, I guess, one on one, but I would definitely love to do that. Yeah.
Julie
So
once
mm,
drove me to the airport from Melbourne CBD to the Melbourne airport. And Julie Cini is absolute fun and integrity all in one.
absolutely, that's fantastic. And yeah, so I think we've gone over our usual time. So I think that this is
Oh,
the longest show that I've had.
I
Um,
just can't help it, Marlon. It's just that our fans are so good looking and beautiful. I just can't help pulling away from the camera. I just love our fans so much, Marlon. Don't you love our fans, Marlon?
Absolutely, I think our fans and the network and the community is, such beautiful humans, and whatever we need to, just keep in touch, and please send, if there's any questions, that you want to send, offline, you can email them to askmarlon at biztechglobal.com. And we have on this update, on Facebook and YouTube and all the different channels. We'll tag you with Edward's, contact details and his, profiles too. So please feel free to connect and follow. And if you replying to any of the comments, or commenting them on, or even have questions, please put the hashtag replay, so that we know that the updates and comments are, um, posts, so we're not going to miss them. Yeah, so I think Moses, you've been great, man. You've
Oh,
been through the whole time, and everyone who joined. So hopefully,
we love you,
we
Moses.
couldn't, yeah. And everyone who joined, we love you guys. Definitely, I think Edward, we need to do it a bit more frequently, man. And I need to jump on your Zoom and your
Well,
network meetup.
I,
You
I guess, I guess,
yeah.
can I tell you something that I've been plotting, Marlon? I
Okay,
hope no one finds out. Can you tell you something I've been plotting?
okay, tell me.
Well, actually, you're going to laugh at this. And by the way, Marlon, you were right and I was wrong. Did you hear that, Marlon? Do you hear what I just said?
Normally, you don't admit it much, yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
tell me.
Usually, I just pretend how awesome I am and how I know everything. But it turns out that Edward Zia was wrong and Marlon was right. Do you want to know what that you were right about, Marlon?
Tell me.
Well, you know how I do my Monday night webinars, right?
Mm, yeah.
I've been pondering changing that to LinkedIn Live. And it's funny. I actually, no kidding, I've resisted LinkedIn Live from day one. I know it's
Yeah.
just dumb. I actually applied for LinkedIn Live a few hours ago.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So
And
I think,
in the
yeah.
unlikely event I get LinkedIn Live, I might do my live webinars through LinkedIn Live using StreamYard technology. What do you think of that, Marlon? Because it turns out that you were right and I was wrong.
It's not about right or wrong. I think it's about, so I would say that you can still do the Zooms and, integrate that in. I think
Oh, no,
it's
still doing the
about,
Zooms. So still doing the Zooms, but I mean my
yeah.
content webinars using StreamYard and LinkedIn Live. You've really sold me LinkedIn Live and StreamYard, Marlon.
Absolutely, because I think it's the reach, to the global platform, and also it's recorded automatically. You have less work to go and upload and do all that mambo jumbo. So I think I the reason that I said that to you at the beginning was that I want your great work, your gratitude, your charity to reach to the far ends of the world. And I think in those webinars and things like that, you have to sign up and things like that. There's obviously a reason for that, because you have to have some kind of but I think it limits the reach, So I would say that, with StreamYard also, it'll also go to all the other channels, Facebook and YouTube and wherever you want to actually, stream them to automatically. So I think it's a powerful thing.
I was wrong. You were correct. Wrong, correct. Wrong, correct. Anyway, you sold me StreamYard. You sold me LinkedIn Live. I applied for my LinkedIn Live license, so I'm going to pray long and hard to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ and Bill Gates for
you will get it in a
Live.
couple of weeks, Edward.
You think I'll get it? Do you think I'll get it, or you reckon they'll just give me the runaround for the next 8 years? I hope I get it
in a couple of weeks time. Yeah. Someone will be watching you. Another thing is that you can produce, your things. Can help you out with that. You got our little who's our social media, LinkedIn Live and StreamYard guru. So I'm happy to help. Get you hooked up and working.
You are the man with the goods, Marlon. Your hashtag. I love your show. Your hashtag Ask Marlon. I tell you what, you have absolutely found the golden goose, Marlon. You have found the golden goose.
Thank you very much. And I don't know this golden goose here, but I have a lot of fun, and everyone who's on the show, I always talk about it. So I think hopefully we can do more of this. And thank you so much, Edward, for giving your evening and talking through all these things. Really looking forward to catching up with you again, hopefully soon in person. Otherwise, let's have a bit of a chat, a couple of things about your webinars and things that I made some notes on, to make it more interactive, and even some of the new tech stuff that I have witnessed. So, so that's my value to you as always, and looking forward to it. So, let's. Is there any departing words you want to share apart from saying good things about me?
I just want to say first thing I want to say is a big thank you to our fans and our fans around the world, be it you're watching the live or the recording. I just want to say thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate it. And if you haven't already, right, make sure you follow Marlon. I know Marlon. Again, Marlon and I think literally a 16-minute drive, probably with lockdown traffic, probably a 12-minute drive, but under a 20-minute drive. I know Marlon personally, and Marlon is a man of integrity. So whatever Marlon says, you can trust him. Make sure you're following Marlon. And I just want to say thank you again to our fans across the world and our viewers. I couldn't have done it without you, and I absolutely appreciate you beautiful people.
Thank you very much. And Edward, you're, amazing human. Thank you again for all your awesome videos, hard work. And, Lassie doesn't get a lot of, credit, but I think, she's amazing. I'm still a bit upset that I have not had a meal with you and her together and with the kiddies, So
Lassie, you'll get to. In fact, I'm just giving you a second. I just want to tell you how many followers Lassie's got. Lassie's been killing it, right? So Lassie has absolutely shattered the sky. So I'm just going to a profile now. So how many? Lassie's been killing it. So big shout out to Lassie. She gets screwed all the time. Oh my God, Lassie is actually 77,000 followers. She's actually 77 and 700 71 followers. She's actually 6 followers off 7777 followers. I'm going to tell her that after this. She's got to get a screenshot at 7777. So she's almost 77,777 followers, which is very exciting.
There you go. We got Lassie on the screen here.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
77,000 followers. So this is Lassie. She.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put
Lassie's
it on the
killing
screen.
it.
Yeah.
Lassie is dangerous, is all I can say. So big shout out to Lassie, but I got to get Lassie to get a screenshot because you're only 77771, so you got to get that screenshot while you're there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Edward, and thank you everyone from wherever you were watching and all the amazing support and love. So until next time, hopefully you stay safe and enjoy your time, and please reach out and connect with either of us or both. And let's looking forward to the next time. Thanks, Edward. There you go. So yeah, I think we've come to I guess we've gone over time today, so there's not much time to do anything else. So say bye to you for today, and looking forward to thank you very much everyone for your fantastic time and your comments. Lots of love to all of you, and take care, and we'll end the stream now.